Welcome to the Infidelity Doctor channel. My name is Dr. Talal Al-Salim, and this is the Ask Dr. Talal segment. Your place to ask me anything you want to know about affair recovery and affair prevention. Please remember that this should not be a substitute for the counseling that you're supposed to be getting. This is merely a place for you to get some basic questions answered and learn about my clinical insights when it comes to affair recovery and affair prevention. So before we get to the question of the week, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can get the most recent updates. So the question of the week is as follows. Is it possible for everyone to forgive infidelity? Before we answer this question, we have to understand what does it mean to forgive infidelity. And my definition of forgiveness is entail the betrayed having to know the reason why the infidelity happened and being able to see those factors being fixed. It's an act of redemption. So in order for me to forgive you, I have to believe that you actually worked on the issues that caused you to hurt me in the first place. So anything short of that is not forgiveness, it's something else. And I would say this also apply when it comes to the unfaithful, trying to figure out how do they forgive themselves. Well, if I made an awful mistake that hurt a lot of people, I cannot forgive myself unless I can actually demonstrate that I have learned from this a negative experience and I changed all the different factors that have caused me to bring this damage to everybody around me. To get it back to the question, is forgiveness attainable for everybody? That is not accurate. There are some situations where forgiveness is not attainable, and I'll give you the common scenarios in which people fail in obtaining forgiveness or giving forgiveness. Most of the time, it's when people decided to repair their relationship and the unfaithful is not following through with the action plan that we have created to address the factors that led to the infidelity. So if I'm the betrayed, why would I forgive somebody who has been given a second chance at repair and they're not taking that chance seriously? There are rare circumstances in which the unfaithful is actually doing the work and making the changes and they're becoming a better person prior than they were prior to the infidelity. But despite their best effort, the betrayed is unwilling or unable to forgive them. Those situations do exist, but I would have to give you a rough estimate. I would say 5% of the people that I work with fall into that category. But the majority of the time, the failure for forgiveness has to do with the unfaithful unwillingness to do the hard work to make the changes to rebuild trust. People usually ask, is there sex or gender differences in terms of men and women and their ability to forgive? My take on this one is what? The theme of human experience is universal. That doesn't mean our biological differences or gender differences doesn't have any influence on how we think and behave. It's just there is no consistent finding in the literature as well as in clinical observation that would say men or women have different degrees or willingness to forgive. I can tell you that there are differences between the type of affairs that can be more upsetting to be discovered when it comes to men and women. For example, men tend to be more upset about the discovery of sexual affairs than they are about emotional affairs, and women tend to be more upset about the discovery of emotional affairs than they are about sexual affairs. But again, even with those statements, they do not apply to all men and women, because a membership in a specific category does not mean a uniform expectation of emotional experience and behavioral reactions. To me, what I have seen in terms of a strength for people's willingness to forgive, and this is in addition to seeing the unfaithful actually do the hard work, is the spiritual belief system. If you are somebody who have a belief system in which forgiveness is something that's admirable and something that you have to strive toward, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get to that point because it's part of your moral compass. So hopefully that answered the question of the week. Please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below about the answer I provided, as well as suggestions of questions that you'd like me to answer in the future. Until then, Be well, be safe, and embrace the possibility for a brighter future. Take care.